Welcome to WBB English Listening and Practicing. Improve your communication skills. Very easy. One morning, Joe woke up with a sore elbow. He prodded it carefully with one finger. Ow, that really hurt. Joe climbed out of bed and put on his dressing gown, very, very carefully, so as not to joggle his bad elbow. Then he went downstairs. Mum was in the kitchen, searching for cereal in the cupboard. "We're out of cornflakes again," she said, not looking round. "Mum," Joe began, "I think there's something wrong with my—" But at that moment, Bella came into the kitchen. She was clutching her tummy. "Mum," she cried, "I'm very, very ill. Very ill indeed. My tummy hurts really, really bad. I am far too sick to go to school." Mum was worried. She felt Bella's forehead. "You do feel hot, but you were fine yesterday." "I'm not fine now," said Bella. "Please, Mum, can I go back to bed?" Bella didn't even want breakfast. Joe tried to tell Mum about his elbow, but Mum was too worried about Bella. "Please just get dressed, Joe, or you will be late for school." Mum stayed home to look after Bella. Dad gave Joe a lift to school, and Joe tried to explain about his elbow. "I was playing football yesterday and I banged it and it still hurts," he said. "Probably just a bruise," said Dad. "I hope Bella is better soon. She looked a bit feverish to me." It's always about Bella, thought Joe crossly. At school, Joe had to be very careful of his elbow. He had to keep it really still. Luckily, he could still write with his other hand. At home, Mum was looking after Bella. She put her back to bed and tucked the covers round her. She brought her a glass of water to sip slowly. She stroked her head and read her a story. "How do you feel now?" she asked. "Would you like to try a little breakfast?" "I can't eat a thing," said Bella. Mum was worried. It wasn't like Bella not to eat anything. She leaned over to pick Bella's teddy bear off the floor. As she did so, she caught sight of something under the bed, a huge pile of sweet wrappers, and an empty box. "Bella," Mum cried, "are those the sweets that Aunt Jackie sent you, and that you were supposed to save for your birthday?" Bella turned very red. "I woke up early and felt hungry," she said in a small voice. "But Bella," said Mum, "no wonder you've a bad tummy. You've eaten everyone." An hour later, Mum and Bella were walking into school. Bella's tummy was better, and Mum wanted to get back to work. Mrs. Smales, the head teacher, came running to meet them. "Oh, good, you're here," she said. "I think you're—"
You need to go straight to hospital." "Hospital?" said Mum. "She's only eaten too many sweets." "I'm not talking about Bella," said Mrs. Smales. "I'm talking about Joe. Didn't you notice that he'd broken his elbow?" "What?" said Mum. At the hospital, Mum and Joe had to sit in the waiting room until Joe could have his X-ray. "Why didn't you tell me?" Mum said. "I did try," said Joe, "but you wouldn't listen. Then my teacher noticed I couldn't move my arm." At the hospital, they were very kind to Joe. They took an X-ray of his arm, and the doctor showed him the picture of the crack in his bone. A nurse wrapped up Joe's elbow in a bandage. Then they put his arm in a sling. Joe was sad that he wouldn't be able to play football for a few weeks, so Mum bought him a box of sweets from the hospital shop to cheer him up. "I hope Bella doesn't steal any," said Joe, opening the box. "I don't think she will," said Mum, smiling. "I think she's had enough sweets to last her a long time." Joe loved football. He played it with his friends at school, in the park, with his dad on weekends, and sometimes he even played it with his little sister Bella in their back garden. She usually missed the ball when she tried to kick it, but it was better than nothing. "I wish I could be on the school team," Joe told his friend, Finn. But maybe because he was small for his age, he never got chosen. Then one day, at break time, when Joe was playing football with his friends, Mr. Burton, the football coach, came over. "How would you like to play for the school team this weekend?" asked Mr. Burton. Joe felt like he was going to burst. "I'd love it," he said. Joe felt so excited that he couldn't wait to tell Mum and Dad. But there was a problem. "I'm so pleased for you," said Mum. "But, oh dear, I'm not sure you can play this weekend. You see, Dad and I are away, and you and Bella are going to stay with Gran. Gran lived close by. She often looked after Joe and Bella when Mum and Da were busy. But I've got to, Joe said. It's my big chance. Gran had made plans to take them for a long walk with her dog Selby on Saturday morning. But when she heard, she said she would take Joe to the football match instead. Of course, I'll have to bring Bella and Selby too. Joe wasn't sure about this. Bella could be Sue, such a nuisance. You never could be sure what she might do. On Saturday morning, Joe found it hard to eat breakfast. He was so nervous. He gave some of his toast to Selby when Gran wasn't looking. The football pitch was in the park. There were lots of kids getting ready and lots of parents standing at the side to watch. Some of them had dogs. The dogs barked at Selby and Selby barked back. Gran and Bella waved at Joe as he ran onto the field. "Good luck," they shouted. Joe was pleased to see that Gran was keeping tight hold of Selby and Bella. Selby was pulling hard on her lead, and Bella was jumping up and down. Poor Gran looked close to being pulled in two. The whistle blew and the match began. Joe ran up the field with the ball. He was about to pass it when a big boy from the other team crashed into him. He was almost twice as big as Joe. All the breath was knocked out of Joe, and the ball went off the pitch.
Hello, friends.
Joe
Welcome
hoped
to
the referee
WBB
would
English.
show the boy a yellow card, but the referee didn't seem to have noticed. Maybe there had been too many players in the way. After that, whenever the referee wasn't looking in their direction, the big boy would give Joe a shove. It made it really difficult for Joe to play well, yelled Finn as Joe lay on the ground. "Did you see that?" But the referee said that it had been an accident. Selby and Bella had seen. Selby tugged on her lead and barked at the referee. "Please control that dog," the referee told Gran, "or I will ask you to leave." Gran was trying so hard to hold Selby that she let go of Bella's hand. Bella ran onto the pitch and up to the boy who had tripped Joe. "Don't you dare trip up my brother," she told him. "I saw you push him too." Match, the bigger boy, didn't dare touch Joe, and after 15 minutes, Joe scored a goal. "Can I always come and watch you play football?" asked Bella at the end of the game, and Joe said she could,